So this is the series on how to make your squatting better. Squatting is your compound movement. It's the nutritious movement that consists of little micronutrients, so micro movements that build up that big compound movement that you can benefit from the most. It's definitely one of the powerful movements, and especially if you're at the gym and working on your strength training, um, you can benefit from great squats. um, in this final video, I'm gonna touch on hip flexion. So because definitely we would like to have some good hip flexion there, especially if we are practicing deep squats. Of course, you don't have to, and we have some structural limitations just because of our bone shape or whatever else, and there is a big debate there, so you can't decide what works for you. But I'm just gonna give you a quick tip on how to identify where your hip flexion is, and also your ankle flexion is going to come up there as well. But we're going to do it not in a squat, but on the floor, and we're going to make our shape of the squat. So you lie down on the floor, and when you lie down on the floor, if you feel like you can see the wall behind you and you have lots of space in your neck, just go ahead and place something under your head to support your head, okay? And then inhale and exhale. So if you're familiar with 360-degree breath, which is breathing in the back and the sides and the front, that's going to be your friend. Going to inhale, 360-degree breath, and exhale, pulling the rib cage towards the pelvis without tucking. And from here, we're going to take something like maybe a blanket, a little towel, folded mat, whatever. So like I'm just going to use this resistance band, and I'm going to try to place it right under my, like where I feel the tailbone kind of thing, like at the bottom of the pelvis. So you want to have something substantial so that you can actually feel it. So like when you feel you're losing it, that will give you feedback, okay? So from here, I'm going to keep my left foot on the floor and not using my hands. I'm just going to bring my knee towards my chest without losing my resistance band. I still want to feel the connection of my pelvis into the resistance band. So basically, if I am lacking that deep hip flexion, what might happen is tucking the pelvis, and I'm exaggerating this because I obviously don't have that issue. So if you feel that, that doesn't give us a good picture of our hip flexion. So from here, pressing into that resistance band, we're going to bring the knee towards the chest. Okay, and now maybe just put the fingers into your hip flexion. Again, you're not going to try to lose the fingers. So you're going to start bringing the foot as if your foot were standing on the floor. So that's basically more or less my squat. So it might actually be here, probably. Okay. And if let's say that this is the angle of where you're checking your hip flexion and you feel quite a bit of compression there. So what you can quickly try is this. So bring your chin, knee to chest, but more in this straightforward position. And if this feels better for your hip flexion, you don't feel compression, maybe try your squat here. So if you do feel something not comfortable, maybe change your angle. Maybe change your angle. And maybe this is where you feel like, oh yeah, that's it. That's where I go deeper and that feels better. So maybe that will be my angle. And then from here, again, try that squatting position. All right, so your foot is going to be dorsiflexed. You can also kind of check your foot dorsiflexion here, and that's also in my videos. So if your foot has enough dorsiflexion, so mine really does, but I'm trying to, yeah. So then it should be able to hold this dome, hopefully, right? Okay. And then you can also play now with both legs. Now, can you have, actually you can do one, the other leg as well. because sometimes legs and hips can be very different, how they feel and sense. Just gonna feel that. And then bring both legs and create that squatting position. Okay, so this is just really a quick try to see where your hip flexion is. Um, feel that angle, feel that kind of appropriate proportions, and then try to bring that into actual standing on the floor squat and see if that's going to help you connect with your squatting potential better and see what you need to work on. Just keep in mind as you are increasing your flexibility in your body parts and as you increase your strength, so things might adjust and adapt and change. That's why I always try to kind of recheck and play with different variations of the squatting and see what changes have happened in your body. All right, so I think that's my final series on how to make your squatting better, looking for common patterns and how you can quickly play with some of them, and some of them might need more time. So, Julia, Be Well Fitness, how to make your squatting better. Change the way you move your body, change the way your body feels.